Adeshina Korki for a lot of sportstalk.com here at Big East Men's Basketball Media Day. And right now I am joined by Notre Dame front court player Jack Cooley. And first of all, Jack, thank you so very much for joining us. And talk about last season. You were picked in the bottom half of the Big East, but you guys absolutely overachieved. Just talk about last season and the success that you had and what you took out of last season.
Oh, last season was just a great experience, as you said, to start off being down so low and finish third in the league. It was great to finish that high and to exceed all those expectations.
Now, a couple of seasons ago, you had to play a whole lot more because Luke Harangody, one of the best frontcourt players in Big East history, had gotten injured. Just how important was that experience a couple of seasons ago when you had to play a whole lot more going into last season when you guys pretty much overachieved?
Yeah, I mean, that was my freshman year when Godey went down, and to get thrown into the fire that early and get those jitters out of the way and get all that confusion out of the way is really good. I mean, to be able to throw into the situation of a team that was that good and play, it was a good experience.
Now, speaking of confusion, a lot of people usually confuse you for Luke Harangody. Did that get a little bit grating a couple of seasons ago when people thought it was, Luke and it was Jack Cooley, even though Jack Cooley's nothing to sneeze at?
I mean, as you said, he's one of the best frontcourt players in Big East history. If you're going to be compared to someone, I mean, he's a pretty good person to be compared to, so I didn't really mind it. I mean, so, maybe a little bit it got annoying, but it never really did. Luke's a great guy, so.
Talk about this season. There's a whole lot more expectations for you guys because you have all 5 starters back. So what's going to be the most important thing just to make sure that those expectations are met? You're not going to sneak up on a lot of teams this season.
I mean, just play together as a team, really, and make sure that every game we play, we got to put together 40 good minutes and just make sure that we capitalize on the little things, and it'll all work out fine.
Now, you're also part of a tradition at Notre Dame, which ends up beating #1 teams. Okay, and last season, of course, you beat Syracuse when the Orange were #1. Take us back to that game and the emotions and the moments in that basketball game, because you had an outstanding performance. Did you think that was your best game of your career in that win against the Orange?
I mean, it might have been one of my most important games that I've played. I've probably stepped up the most in that game. But just to go back to that game, it was the most energetic game I've ever been a part of. The fans were phenomenal. They were there and over an hour early. The place was packed, and they were just. I've never played in a stadium that was that live before, and just that into it. It almost wasn't a basketball game. It was kind of like a show, and it was phenomenal.
How many times have you done an Irish jig?
I mean, I go
more than it looks like more than 0. Yeah, more than 0.
It's a non-zero number. Yeah. I've been at the football games. You got to do it. So I mean, I've been to the football games. So I've done it a couple times.
Jack Cooley, thank you so very much for joining us. Best of luck this season and for the rest of your basketball career.
Thank you for having me.